But it was real windy this morning, so I wasn't filming when I was doing this. But I was splitting one of these. Now it's a little windy now. I hate it when I get wind noise in the camera. But I think I got rain moving in, so I thought I'd show you what I'm at. This is, I think it's a 17 footer. You know, and I cut both slabs off either side, and like I say, that's to get away from the hewing angle. But this is seasoned oak, and that was a tough cut, or relatively tough. You know, normally with those rip chains, I don't have to sharpen them, I can just keep going. But I actually sharpened it twice on this cut, because this is really hard. But I need it stable because these are going to be the main ones that go against the foundation. So that's why I wanted these to be cured. You know, then when I start going up higher, I'll be using green and it'll be a lot easier to cut. But as I go, I'm going to end up with a lot of these, you know, the two slabs. But these won't be wasted. These are really nice oak. And I will be cutting them into probably like 6-inch wide, 2 inches thick, random lengths, whatever I can avoid bad knots. And they'll be used for floorboards. I've got a 2-inch oak. It's similar to what they used to do, because they'll be pegged then. When they used to do the punch and floorings, then it was a piece like this, and they just square off an end, you know, and pin it down. But I'll actually make like a 2-inch thick, and like I say, random length, so I'll be able to run them through the planer to get them relatively even. But that'll work good, and that'll be a good solid floor. But this is a good piece, and well, you can see the 3-point. I use the bale mover to handle these. That works very well. I actually have a similar device that I put on the tractor on the instead of the bucket. It's one that I made, and that works good. I actually might convert that one to use for doing this, because that one, the tines are a little shorter, because really these tines are really long for handling logs. You know, I could use like a 2 or 3 foot would be plenty long, and I think that's, my other ones are shorter. But I use those on, you know, like I say, on the front bucket, but I could easily make extra brackets on it to use it on the 3-point, so I might do that. It might save, because when you get you know, these logs are really heavy. When you get them way out on the end, which you have to do when they're lined up, you know, laying against each other to get them to lift without lifting 2 of them, because that's really a strain. But it's going good. But I will be glad when I get to the green stuff. But I got a few more of these to cut. But I like nice wood. You know, oak is, like I say, a pain to work with, especially when it's really seasoned. But that is one solid piece of wood. But I think I'm gonna shift this one out of here now and block it up over there someplace, because like I say, you know, normally these, I'll leave them rounded on the top. Then the next log will go, you know, they're notched. Then it goes, and you leave somewhat of a gap between so that you've got room to put the chinking. And if you put them too close, you can't get the chinking to hold decently. You either got to go right tight up against, and then pack some like moss or something in between, very small stuff, or you got to leave enough so that you get a bind in between the 2 logs. But this will be bottom short end, so I will square off one of the sides. I'll look it over and decide which one I want to do, because you know, since you're staggering them like that, that first short end log has got to be flat so that it goes against the foundation. Because, you know, I'm not working from plans on this. This is something I kind of you know, the plans are dictated by the timber that I get, you know. So I'm cutting these foundation ones, or the bottom ones first, so I know where I stand with those, and then I'll make the foundation accordingly. You know, but that's how I'm working it. And it's like I say, not planned. I've known what I wanted to do for a long time, and I know how to do it. But I have to be flexible in the way I do it. But I'm pleased with the way this works. It gives me a good solid 6-inch piece. But you never know, you know, like this one now is great. You know, I could use it, there's no problem. But you could end up where there's a knot in a bad spot or something. But then I can always use those for other pieces. That's why when I cut these foundation ones, I cut a couple extras, so I got a little wiggle room there. But that's normally how I do things. But even these slabs, you know, like this is a nice chunk of wood. And fairly thick on this end. And I'll be able to go, you know, it's what I was wanting to do. But I will be glad when I get to the green, because I tell you, she's fairly tough cutting. Well, it goes fine as long as you keep your chain sharp, but it isn't going to be fast. But once I get into the green, then it'll be fairly easy going. I just know that. But, you know, for the ones that go against the foundation, for the start where the floor joists and everything I'm going to go, I have to have really seasoned so they stay in place, because everything depends on those. That's where I'm at today. But I think I better get this stuff shifted around.